girls-only Catholic high school. Rachel met Usman Khawaja when she was just 19 years old. Usman played his first game of cricket for Australia in January 2011 and continued to play for Australia today. After the meeting, Rachel's life changed in such a short amount of time. She went from Catholic schoolgirl to a married Muslim woman in just a few years. Today she's here to tell us about her journey, the challenges she has faced, and how it was one of the best decisions she ever made.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So my name is Rachel Khawaja. As you just stated, I'm married to Australian cricketer Usman Khawaja. And in 2017, I converted to Islam. And I'm just here today to tell you a little bit about my journey, my story, and just genuinely share my experience with you all. So I wanted to start by just giving you a little bit of background information on myself. So I was born here in Brisbane. I've lived here my whole life with my mum and dad, who are here with me tonight, Michelle and John. I'm the youngest of three. I've got an older brother and a sister. I'd say we had a pretty typical Australian upbringing. Our house was filled with love and laughter, and it was a really great childhood. My dad's side of the family is Catholic, and my mum's side is originally Church of England. So dad's parents were quite religious. Mum's side of the family not so much. So my dad's parents were religious to the point where my grandma nearly refused to attend the wedding if it wasn't going to be in the Catholic Church, just to give you a bit of background there. So all in all, they ended up, my mum sort of gave in and they were married in the church and everyone was happy, which was great. And that was 32 years ago they were married. So my parents then went on to get all of us kids christened and then confirmed when the time came. And then all three of us kids went to a Catholic high school. So myself and my sister attended All Hallows, all girls Catholic school, not too far from here where we are tonight. So although we did all attend Catholic schools, I wouldn't say that we were an overly religious family. We used to go to church at Christmas and Easter time, like I'm sure a lot of Catholic families do, to tick that off the list. And most of the time it was just when my grandparents would come up and visit and we'd all go together. So I would say that once I graduated high school, there wasn't a massive religious presence left in my life. So I was just studying marketing at Griffith University when I first met Uzi. I was just working casual jobs, spending time with friends, just a typical 19-year-old. And from the time that Usman and I started spending time together, things moved pretty quickly. It wasn't long until we were discussing marriage, kids, and religion. So for those of you who don't know anything about my husband, he was originally born in Pakistan and his family moved to Australia when he was 4 years old. His family is very religious, always has been, and Uzi's carried that religion with him his whole life. He's a very religious man. You probably wouldn't know when you meet him. He's not very, he lives his life and does his religion in private, but he's very religious. You get a conversation with him, he's really passionate about it, and it really shapes the person that he is. So religion's always been a massive thing in his life, and I was really aware of that when I first met Uzi. I always knew it was going to be a topic that would come up, and I had already sort of discussed it with my mum. As typical girls, we talk about just about everything. So my mum and I had sort of talked about the possibility of the topic coming up, and so when Uzi first asked me or brought up the topic of Islam, and he just sort of wanted to see where my head was at and if it would be a possibility of me converting. I think he was very nervous, but I think he was pleasantly surprised at how open I was to the possibility of converting one day. So, from then on, it was just a matter of doing a lot of research and talking to people and sort of figuring out if that was the right path for me to take. Before I made my decision for sure. So Uzi was away a lot at the time, and he would often send me through articles and emails, things for me to read. I would gather a lot of information myself. My mum and I went and met up with a Muslim woman who was a lawyer at the time in the city, and we went and had coffee and just chatted. I just wanted to get a female perspective as well and just sort of cover all the bases. So I feel like I tried to learn as much as I can, not that I could never, there's still so much out there that I'm still yet to learn. So I think The most common question that I get asked is, did you have to convert in order to marry Uzi? And I guess the short answer to that is no, I definitely didn't have to convert. Uzi and his family didn't pressure me in any way. It wasn't a matter of that. As you know, me being a faith of the book, we could have gotten married if that was what we wanted to do. But Uzi had just sort of shared with me his desires of having a Muslim family, raising kids Islamically and all being one faith in the household. And he was so passionate about it. And I guess me not having a really strong religious tie at the time, it wasn't as though I was having to sacrifice everything that I believed in order to do it. So it was something that was, an easy decision in a way, especially once I started to learn about Islam. It definitely became an easy decision for me. So after a few months, I made the decision, yes, I was going to convert. And I think the thing that I really love most about Islam is the whole concept of, we do good deeds in order to one day, inshallah, go to heaven in the afterlife. And I just love that good deeds can be something so simple as saying alhamdulillah when someone sneezes, to praying and giving to charity. There's such a wide range. It's not, you don't have to go out and try and, cure cancer and do all these things to do a good deed. It can be something so simple, being kind, opening a door for a stranger, really little things in life that we all do subconsciously. We don't even realise that we're doing them. So that was something that I really loved. So in 2017, I converted, and at the same time, Uzi and I had our nikah ceremony at home about a year before we actually legally got married. And the reasoning for that was just, we loved each other, we wanted to be married, and we wanted to be married in the eyes of God as soon as possible. For reasons I'm sure you all understand, it was just something that was really important to Uzi. So we did that at home. It was a really intimate ceremony with family, and it was really beautiful. Then came the time sort of telling friends and family that I was going to convert. And it actually wasn't that difficult at all. A lot of people say, like, oh, how did everyone react? And it was actually really amazing. And my family in particular were unbelievably supportive. And I really have to credit my parents to a lot of that. I think if they hadn't have been so open and accepting, I'm not sure it would have been such an easy process. I really have to thank them. But I certainly had some friends who I would say questioned and raised a few concerns, as I'm sure you would, I sort of expected that to happen. But at the end of the day, support from family and really close friends is all that I ever needed. I actually always remember this one time my auntie came over, this is before I converted, and she worked with a Muslim gentleman at the time, and she must have been telling him about me and how I was thinking of converting, and that gentleman was telling his wife, and so his wife brought this black hijab and it had like diamantes all over it, and she brought it to my auntie, and then my auntie gifted it to me, and she came over all excited. She was like, oh, look what I got you. She was so excited. So it's just little things like that, I think, without saying it, you feel the unconditional love and support from your family. It just makes everything so much easier. I was really grateful for that. So since converting, religion has become a really important part of Uzi and mine's relationship. Uzi's career certainly has its challenging moments, as all careers do, but I think we both really heavily rely on the knowledge that Allah does everything for a reason, and He has His plans, and that is something that always comes up in our discussions. We're always reminding one another that when things are tough, whether it be personal or professional reasons, it's something that we're always telling one another. I can think of one example not too long ago, we were in Canberra for the final test match of the summer, and for those of you who don't follow cricket, we were having not a great summer, and Uzi was not having the best summer that he would have wanted, and he was really down, and many reasons went into that, but he was probably the worst I've seen him throughout the time I've known him, and all I can do is say to him, just, just trust in Allah, you just need to trust. And he did, and sure enough, final innings of the summer, he goes out and gets 100. So we trusted, and Allah rewarded us for that. And little things like that are, a massive part of our relationship, which I think is really special. So I always find it quite amazing that Uzi was actually the first Muslim that I ever actually met. Which is pretty crazy, I think, to go from 19 years without officially meeting a Muslim person to then a few years later being a married Muslim woman myself. I think it's pretty crazy. But I think we just all get a little bit caught up in our own bubble. We spend time with our same family, our same friends, and we definitely get caught in our little bubble. And I think that's why events like this are something so special, that we can come together, we can have a discussion, we can blend communities, cultures, and just get people talking to each other and asking questions. I think the questions are the best way to learn. Let's get knowledge from one another. And I love that now I have the opportunity to answer questions for people. I often get asked a lot of questions about Islam from friends and family, and a lot of questions I don't know the answers to, so I ask Uzi if I don't know, and then if he doesn't know, he'll ask someone else. But we learn together, and I love telling friends and family, facts and information about Islam that they honestly just don't know. And I like that I have the opportunity to maybe even correct some misconceptions along the way, which is something that I think is really great. And just to share my experience and hopefully change a few people's opinions, if I can in my lifetime. And I know that I already have in just close friends and family, so I think that's really great. Just before we got married last year, my cousin, who was 8 at the time, actually came to me at a family celebration, and she'd written down in her notebook a little list of questions that she had been thinking and really wanted to ask me, and I just wanted to read them out to you tonight because they are quite cute. So her first question was, are you still a Christian? And then she asked me, which I'm not really sure, I think there was a bit of a cultural confusion here, do you know how to make wontons? I'm not sure where that came from. What do you and Uzi have in common? Do you still believe in the Christian God? Is your wedding going to be the best day of your life? How has your life changed, and how are you? And it was something really special. It gave me the opportunity to sit down with her, and there was some other of my cousins, aunties and uncles there at the time, and we all just started up a conversation about Islam, and we sat there talking for ages, and the kids were there, and I answered some of their questions, and even aunties, uncles who just don't know and wanted to ask, and I think it's something that's really special that I have that opportunity now to do that. Although I have physically converted and I am Muslim now, I know that my conversion journey is still very much ongoing. I have so much to learn, still so much knowledge to gain about Islam, and I really look forward to, inshallah, continuing to grow about and to learn about this religion and let it become one of the most important aspects of my life, because I can already see it going that way, and I look forward to, as I get older, just embracing it even more with each year and learning, gaining as much knowledge as I can, and trying to be the best Muslim that I possibly can be. So I wanted to thank you all for having me here tonight and to share with you my story. Thanks for listening, and I just wanted to wish you all a very happy and safe Ramadan as well. So thank you guys so much.